new bombshell revelations about Jay Jones, the Democratic candidate for Virginia Attorney General.
We spoke yesterday in My Radar about his alarming text messages in which he fantasized about the shooting of then Speaker of the Virginia House of Delegates and also wished death on his kids. Those texts were leaked to the public by a fellow Virginia delegate, Carrie Coyner. She's the one who got the messages, and she's explaining this more fully, telling the New York Post that 2 years prior to those comments, in a separate conversation regarding qualified immunity for police, Jones told her, quote, well, maybe if a few of them, police, died, they would move on and not shooting people, not killing people.
Jones' comments have sparked a firestorm of backlash, with Republicans calling on Jones to drop out of the race and calling on their Democratic colleagues to urge him to drop out. So far, Democratic gubernatorial candidate Abigail Spanberger has not called on Jones to drop out, but some on the left have not been silent. Take a listen to John Heilman on Morning Joe.
Even some Democratic leaders, John Hyman, have started to say, like, look, this is inappropriate.
It's wildly inappropriate under any circumstances. Yes. Today, tomorrow, 10 years ago, 6 months ago. I think the pressure is going to be on Spanberger and for the party to ask this candidate to just quit the race, because just both, it's the right thing, and also the political splashback. You don't want to mess with this right now.
Who says that?
I think the right thing to do is basically this guy should do everyone a favor and step out of the race.
Yeah.
As a reminder, he accidentally sent these text messages to a Republican colleague, and then instead of having the reaction I think most of us would have, the like, oh crap, I didn't mean it, sorry, wrong message, and this is out of context. He then continued to argue with her, justifying why he had said that and why he genuinely feels that way. It's really disturbing stuff, especially the talk about the kids. Look, I'm more skeptical than a lot of other people about violent or overheated or warlike rhetoric in politics actually having some real-world effect. But this is a moment where there's been the shooting, the murder, assassination of Charlie Kirk, political violence, concerns about that. So it's just not a good moment for this kind of thing to come up. And again, it wasn't just like the overheated remark at the call. It was genuinely wishing for his kids, who he called fascists or Nazis, to die. Really, just very disturbing, unprofessional. If you're running for political office, like, you gotta, I don't like that we all have to sanitize how we speak to each other so much these days, but if you're running for political office, don't put that in a text message, you idiot. It almost betrays stupidity.
Well, you talk a lot about social media being a place where, like, unfiltered thoughts, and sometimes people might think something crazy, but they'll, might say it on social media. I guess when you're running, you would think that you would keep that out of a text message, even though that's still a crazy thought to me.
Because it gets stripped of context.
But when you say something ridiculous to me one time, it's like, okay, maybe you were trying to entertain somebody, you thought they might laugh about something, but when you say something 3 times that involves killing or death and talking about cops now, and like there's several messages, you actually have a little bit of a problem. And so I'm not mad at people calling him to step down. I don't know that the gubernatorial candidate needs to jump in. She can just say, okay, I'm in the middle of a race and I'm winning and I want to move forward. That's not my problem, because no one has to take on a burden of somebody else's damage that they've done to themselves and bring it onto their campaign in a winning position. However, there are plenty of people that can speak out if they would like to say, we condemn this type of violence. I think that studies have shown us that a lot of violence is not pointed to the left. And so even though you and I debate that all day, this would be one of those examples to say, well, we don't align with what he's talking about. That's absurd. And perhaps he should do the right thing and step down.
But we'll see if he actually gets out of this race, because, Ralph Northam, the former governor of Virginia, had that scandal. He didn't resign. I think his LG had a scandal. Didn't resign. There was the blackface costume, Klan costume thing. Well, you're from Colorado, so you might not even remember that one. You can't
make people resign, but you can say your perspective about it and go on record so that people know.
Yes.
Next up, in my lens, many Democrats are becoming concerned that some Republicans are using the government shutdown to distance from another issue at hand. Guess what it is? Stick around.